Keeping your pool clean and balanced is pretty much a daily task. To make it a little bit easier though, there is this Intex pool maintenance kit and a pool skimmer, which has greatly reduced the amount of time that I have to actually spend out here cleaning the pool myself. The first thing we're going to do is set up this pool skimmer, and I've got this and everything else linked down in the description box for you guys. The first thing you want to do is take everything out of the box and go over the list of supplies, making sure that you have everything that it was supposed to come with. This basket should come with 2 pieces on the inside. There's this floating cover which has a ring that sits around the outside edge, and then there's the basket that has a handle inside of that, and the cover just sits right around that basket inside of the skimmer. It also comes with this hose which attaches to the very bottom of the skimmer. The pool skimmer comes with hooks for both the framed pool and the easy set pool. For the easy set pool, which is what I have, you just have these 3 pieces that basically snap together. So first you take what they call the depth adjuster and the hook, and those 2 pieces just snap right together. Then you take this hook and that snaps right into the depth adjuster, and you can see that it has this little piece that can adjust forward and backward, and that is what will change the depth of the skimmer basket when it's in your pool. Then you take that hook and you slide it into the back of the skimmer, and you use that screw to tighten it into place. Now, depending on how big your pool is, you're going to have either 1 or 2 of those little inlets where the water gets sucked into the pump. So you want to take one of those and remove that cover from the inside of that inlet and replace it with the adapter that came with the pool skimmer. Then all you have to do is take your pool skimmer and hook it over the inflatable ring on your pool, fill up that hose with water, and then attach it to that inlet adapter that you just placed inside the pool. You want this little arm to fit pretty snug around that inflatable ring, so adjust it until you have a good fit and your skimmer basket is pretty level with the water inside your pool. And the arm that attaches to the actual skimmer inside of the pool is adjustable, so you can lower the skimmer up or down, and you want to adjust it to where this blue piece that floats inside of the pool has between, I believe it's like 1 to 5 inches of space between that and the top of the skimmer basket. So it's going to float between 1 and 5 inches above the basket on the water. And then here you can see where the hose is attached to the adapter, and that's where it sucks the water back into the filtration system inside the pump. Now, just a couple tips before I move on to the rest of the pool maintenance kit. When I first set up this pool skimmer, the suction was not great, and I felt like there was a lot of stuff it wasn't catching, and my filter was getting really dirty. And you can see here that it doesn't really look like the skimmer is sucking very much water over the edge, and it really should have enough suction that it's pulling water in over the edge of that little floating ring. So to fix that problem, I took one of the little plugs that comes with the pool, and on the second inlet on the inside of the pool, I unscrewed the inlet cover, and then I put the plug on the inlet to stop water from being sucked into that second hose. And you can see here that it just plugs right on top of it, and it keeps water from being sucked in, which causes all of the water that the pump is sucking out of the pool to come through the skimmer and increases that water pressure twofold. And you can see here that that made a huge difference. Now you can actually see the water movement, and you can actually see that little floating ring sucking the water in over the lip of the ring to bring all of the debris out of the pool and into the basket. So at this point, the skimmer has good suction and it's working. It's catching larger items in the pool before they sink to the bottom. But I still had a lot of smaller debris and tons of dirt that was getting into the filter, and I was having to remove the filter and spray clean it every other day and replace it about once a week. And and that's expensive. So I really wanted to find a way to cut down on how much stuff was actually making it to the filter and catch more of it while it's in the basket. So I went on Amazon and I read a bunch of reviews, and I ended up landing on this pack of Skimmer socks. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's just like a sock or a pantyhose material, and you put it inside the basket like you would a trash bag, and it sits snugly around the outside edges, keeping it in place. Then you just put it back together like normal. You put the little float thing around the outside, and you stick the whole thing back inside of the skimmer inside the pool. And now you can see that not only is the suction on this thing great, but it's actually trapping all of these tiny little things that are getting in there that would have been getting sucked into the pool filter before. So what I would do is come out in the morning, and the first thing I would do is plug in the pool pump and let this run all day long. And then once every day or two, I'd remove the sock and I would either replace it or I would rinse it off with the hose and stick it back in there, just depending on how dirty it was. But this greatly reduced how often I was having to clean and replace the filter, and it's way cheaper than replacing a filter once a week. And again, just as a reminder, if you're interested in these, they're linked down in the description box. The kit also comes with a telescoping pole, a brush, a skimmer, a vacuum that has 2 different attachments, and a hose. The nice thing about this kit is that everything attaches to the same pole, and it's 110 inches long and is supposed to be meant for pools that are 18 feet in diameter, so it's more than long enough for the 15-foot pool that we have. The brush is great for scrubbing the sides of the pool to make sure that you don't have any algae growth, as well as on the bottom of the pool. It just loosens up any algae or any other debris that you have stuck to the sides or the bottom of the pool before you go back in with a skimmer and a vacuum. Then when you're done with the brush, it just easily snaps off, and then you can snap on the skimmer to skim all the debris out of the pool. Then once you're done skimming the pool, you have 2 different options for vacuuming. To assemble the vacuum, you take this little piece that has this little mesh net bag that sits on the inside of it, and then you have this little funnel piece that screws on to the other end. And then there's 2 attachments that you can attach to the end of that piece. You have this one with the bristles on it, which is the one that I prefer, and then there's another one that's just like a nozzle that sucks up debris. And then just like with all the other attachments, you just snap it in place at the end of the pole. Then you take the 24-foot hose that came with your kit and you attach it to the other end of the vacuum, making sure that you push it all the way down really snug and tight on that little attachment so that it doesn't pop off while you're using it. Once you have the hose attached, you want to push the vacuum down into the water and then get the hose completely full of water and get all of the air out before attaching it to the outlet that pulls water into the pump. Because this hose is so long, it can be kind of tricky to get all of the air out. So it does help if you use the jet and let the jet just push all the air out and fill the hose with water that way. Whatever you do, just make sure that there's absolutely no air bubbles left and the hose is completely full with water before attaching it to that outlet, because you don't want any air getting into the pump. The hose won't fit on the adjuster that the skimmer basket is plugged into, so whenever you vacuum the pool, you'll have to unhook the skimmer basket and then reattach the original nozzle that came with the pool, and then the hose will snap right onto that. You still want to leave that second inlet plugged so that you have enough suction for the vacuum to work well. Once you have the hose plugged in, then you're good to go and you can start vacuuming the bottom of your pool. The reason I prefer this attachment over the other attachment that you have for the vacuum is because of the bristles that are on this attachment. It helps to knock up any little pieces of debris on the bottom of the pool, and it does a really good job of thoroughly cleaning everything that has settled in the bottom. Once you've finished vacuuming and you've unhooked it from the hose and reattached your skimmer basket, all you have to do is detach the vacuum from the pole, and then those two pieces unscrew for you to be able to remove and clean the mesh bag that's inside. Even though my pool didn't look very dirty, there's a decent amount of dirt that's in this mesh bag. So at this point, you just want to rinse out the mesh bag so that it's clean before you need it the next time, and that's it. Also, you'll probably want to make sure that you spray your filter after you're done vacuuming, just in case your filter has gotten clogged up in the process. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss any future content on my channel, and ring the bell for notifications. Thanks again, you guys, so much for watching, and until next time, you can check out one of these videos right here.